friends, it's Marissa, mkissa creations and surfandsew.me on Instagram. So both of those are my Instagrams. mkissa creations is my very crafty and mostly cross-stitch based Instagram. And then surfandsew.me is more of a homesteading, homemaking, play outside, main life Instagram, if that makes sense. So I'd love for follows on both. I have a lot of stitchy friends that follow me on my surfandsew.me Instagram, and it really makes me happy to see other people there as well. I am later than I was hoping to be with an update video. I got hit by the yucks last week. It took me out for 4 days. I don't even know what it was. I tested for all the things. It took me out sinus wise, and I was congested. I couldn't stitch. I missed 2 days of stitching, which was sad because it like broke my streak from the beginning of the year of having stitched every day. But that's okay. I needed to get better, and now I am better, and so I am here to show you what I've been working on and tell you who kept me company while I was feeling really crummy. So thank you all. I got a really great response on my comments last week, or last video. This is Flosstube video number 21. This is a video mostly about cross stitch, almost entirely about cross stitch and cross stitch adjacent things. So welcome if you are new. Thank you for coming back if you are a returning visitor, and thank you so much if you are a new subscriber. I have quite a few, and I really appreciate seeing you all here. All right, so all of that out of the way, I swear, you practice more, it'll happen more, you'll be able to get it all out right in the beginning, but I don't know, the life stuff kind of sneaks in there sometimes because of the amount of time that we're away for. All right, I wanted to do a quick shout out for some new Flosstubers and who I was watching last week, and just who I've been really into so far this year and who's been keeping me company, and some oldies but goodies. So my oldies but goodies friends, Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, just put out a new video. It's been a little while since she's done one. She went back to her life schedule changed, so sometimes that happens, and I was a victim to that before too, but she's back and she just posted a new video and it's wonderful. Hi Julie, I'm so glad to see you back. Two Needles Pulling Thread, they are go-to Kathy and Missy. They are IRL friends of mine also, and so it's always really fun to watch them and then hopefully get to catch up with them later. And I did get to catch up with half of their duo right before I got sick, so that was fun. And then Helen D, also part of my Real Stitchy friend group, but also just absolutely love watching her videos and seeing what she's been up to that we don't get to see, and then getting to see her stitching firsthand in person is just so special. But and then B&E Stitchery, Emma and Brandy, they are a little newer to Flosstube, but they're in like the main crew, and so it's just so fun to get to spend time with people and then also watch their videos. So that's like my main crew shout outs. And then for who else I've been watching, newer Flosstubers that I've been watching, Cross Stitch the Globe, though they're like taking off. They have been around for quite a while now and have been really wonderfully consistent about putting out video every week. So thank you ladies. They are two sisters. I am joining them in a SAL this coming month, which I will talk about a little bit later. And then the Runner Stitcher, he's like, I would say brand new, but not really now. I think he's on video number 5. Really great stuff coming out from him. Like waist canvas on sweatshirts. Like, I am sad because my current thrift store does not have like a old school pattern pile, and one of my old thrift stores where I used to live had one, and there must have been so many good, like, oh my gosh, could you imagine like a sweater with like the blue bowed ducks on it, or geese? They're geese, like those kitchen geese. I want a sweater with the blue bowed kitchen geese on it. Dreams. We gotta find some blue-bowed geese patterns. I think actually my mother-in-law gifted me an old stitch that has one of the blue geese on it, and I have to dig that out and find it. And then another newer stitcher is CCL Stitches, Crazy Cat Lady Stitches. She has a lot of great projects going, variety of everything. She stitches in hand. She's working on Sleeping Princess, the Mirabilia that I have on the go. Not currently like on the go, but in my WIP pile, work in progress pile. And so just when you find somebody that's stitching on the same stuff as you, it's just always so motivating and always makes you kind of want to pull that stuff out. And it draws me to other Flosstubers when I see projects that I have worked on or am working on or have in my stash and want to start. So check her out. I'm going to link everybody below. And then Small Town Stitches, she's not new. She's new to me. I caught her at the very end of the year. I think her WIP parade is what pulled me in. She stitches a lot of full coverage and makes great progress on them. And I think she's part of the reason I am itching for full coverage. I haven't put one into a Q-snap yet, and I have been like browsing the Haid website. They just had a 50% off sale, and Lord, when I tell you, I sat on my hands to not purchase a new pattern when I already have 2 Haids going, and then I got another biggie gifted to me this week. It was tough. It was tough, and like, I want to start a new Haid. I have 2 Haids. I need to finish what I have started. I know I can do whatever the heck I want, but I'm making myself a few rules just to like make sure that I have them for myself. So those are the Flosstubers that I have really been like digging into this week. There's been a couple others smattered here and there, but usually, mostly the oldies but goodies have been in there. I just wanted to give a shout out to my main ladies because they're awesome and they all deserve it. And I got shout outs from 2 Needles Pulling Thread and Helen last week or the week before, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, there is another, she's not Maine, but she's the New England stitcher. She is kind of from Maine. She's from New England. Like, her name suits her so much. She's also a quilter, and she is wonderful. Stephanie, I want to say, is her real name. But the New England Stitcher, and I will link her down below also. She's another great one to check out. She's got some awesome projects going, and she just finished my Red Christmas sampler, and she took the date out of it, and it looks beautiful. So yeah, a lot of Flosstubers for you to check out. So that is my, like, go check these people out at the beginning of the video. Stick around and watch the rest of mine first, please. But go check them out, because Flosstube grows because there's more Flosstubers, and Flosstube gets more popular because there's more Flosstubers, and more people stitch because there's more Flosstubers. So keep making Flosstubes, everybody, and keep putting them out there, and keep sharing the love, because I absolutely like hearing your name in a Flosstube video. I was feeling bad. I'm like, I don't shout people out enough, because how good it feels when somebody else mentions you in a Flosstube video. Holy pajamas. That is just the best feeling. So thank you to all of you that I have mentioned. Your Flosstubes really have just brought me joy in the past month, and especially in the past week, where I sounded like this tenfold. All right, let's get into some stitching, because it's probably been like 10 minutes or so and you're tired of hearing me talk without seeing anything cool. So I mentioned that the first stitching that I'm going to show is not my stitching. I mean, it belongs to me now. Thank you, but it's not my stitching. I was lucky enough to have Missy as my swap partner in our winter. It used to be an ornament swap. Now it's like a small swap. But she stitched these little tropical shelves for me. My little stitchy group knows that I love like tiki and beachy, things like that. I really hope that that's focusing. My head's not in the picture. But this is just absolutely gorgeous, and she did an amazing job and got it to fit like right in the frame. So that is sitting right in my stitchy spot. I think this probably is just gonna live out all year long, because why would I put this away? It's so happy and fun and makes you think of warmer times. All right, well, that's gonna go back there. I made a list, so that's what I'm looking at. If I'm not looking at you, I apologize. But let's talk about what I've stitched on since I last saw you. And of course, the first thing on the list I forgot to get out. I think I know where it is. Hopefully, maybe, or we're gonna start filming again. Okay, first bag was a no. Let's try this one. Second bag was a no. Where the heck is this one living? Maybe it's in here. All right, third bag is a yes. All right, the first thing that I stitched on was a Whip Go call for January, excuse me. It was One Nation for me. This was number 23, I think, that was down the bottom. And my goal for myself for WIPCO for this project, which I completed a WIPCO goal, was to get 2 states and 2 stars done. I ended up also using it as a prompt for Fandom Stitches group, and so it was like stitch something patriotic feeling, and it was like 1,500 stitches was what I ended up putting into it. And so I got 3 states and 3 stars done. So that is where that one is. And then I picked out my white. I mentioned in my last video that I didn't know what I was going to use. I am using 3866. It is, I mean, it just looks white. It doesn't, I'm not seeing any, it's more of a beigey color, but it works. So that is where I am with that. That is going away. I don't know when this will come back out again. It's just gonna languish for a little bit. It's a big project, but I do, once I got going on the stars, like I was able to find a pattern to stitch into, and so I think that was part of what was worrying me, was that I would never get anywhere with that and I would just be like stitching and it was going to be really hard. But I figured out a pattern of how to stitch the outlines of the stars and the stars, and so I think that will like make me more likely to go back to it at some point. The other WIPCO call that came up for me this month was Long Dog Samplers, the token. This is more one of the like Quaker style, I think, samplers from Long Dog, and it is our wedding / anniversary sampler. It is on 36 count Tycho Edinburgh from Picture This Plus, and during this rotation, I had a little bit of this, I think down here, of this motif done, and I ended up stitching all of that motif. So there's another like kind of smaller one that's gonna go right here, and I'm thinking that, because I usually do stitch on this in February, just because it's like love. I'm thinking that I am going to pick it back up in February and stitch on a little bit, so maybe I'll work on that that smaller sampler right there, or that smaller motif right there, to kind of fill it in a little bit. All right, I also had a new start since I saw you last. I didn't organize myself very well. Here we go. All right. So I am doing 24 new starts in 2024. I know Pam from Just Keep Stitching is doing that, and Cross Stitch the Globe is doing that, and there's probably a ton of other people doing that, but those are the people that I for sure know that are doing the 24 new starts in 2024. So my next start was V is for Valentine by Heartstring Samplery, and I got a good start on it, like pretty healthy start. So the basket is completely done, and we're getting there. I just pulled, my lighting is today, but I didn't want to deal with the ring light because I did not like the glasses reflection last time. So I pulled, let's see, 2 Victorian mottos, couple old weeks, and a Gast. So I'm using Evergreen for the green, and then I used Onks and Charcoal for the basket, and Antique Flag and Let Freedom Wave for the 2 reds in the flowers. And just kind of give that palette to you. And I am loving it so far. So I will pick that back up this month because it is Valentine's and it's small. So maybe I can get a finish, and that way I'm not increasing my WIP list in a huge, huge way. Probably shouldn't try to put all of these away while I'm talking to you. It's just going to make things take forever. Okay, I keep burying my list. All right, the Sampler Book by Erica Michaels. So here's what the pattern looks like when you like buy the pattern. And I will tell you, there's a pattern for the front cover, but other than that, like this is all instructions. It's instructions and color lists. The color lists and the instructions are helpful, and they will be very helpful when it is time to put the whole thing together. But if you just want to stitch it without the instruction book, you can. And I think I said that the patterns were available for free on Rainbow Gallery. I think that they've moved them to Erica Michaels' website and are not on Rainbow Gallery anymore. But, okay, I'm making more work for myself than necessary. Alrighty, here we go. So I finished A, is for Acorn and Algerian Eyelet. I finished this at our little stitchy meetup. I stitched 1/1 on 32 count for the words, and holy cow, I have never stitched 1/1 on 32 count, and that was not easy on the eyeballs. But it is done. My camera still like really wants to know where my face is, so I hope it's focusing where it's supposed to. But I love how this turned out. I am so excited for this little sampler book, and like the little Algerian eyelets all over the place. And then I think there's not really any notes about stitching the words. I just picked the green because there's a lot of brown and a lot of the same brown. I almost like used different threads in for the different A's. Only one of the A's is called for in a different color. I don't know, I might have changed that up if I had seen this all stitched before. But I'm gonna start B this month. B is for Butterfly and the Butterfly stitch. So that will be on the same fabric. It'll just go, it'll go over here, and then the pages will get folded to be the same page, or to be 2 different pages in the book. So that is done. So I'm not counting that really as a finish because I'm counting the sampler book as a whole project. So that was just kind of a mini finish, a bonus finish, I guess. And then my oh, these were my flosses for that. I already threw the pattern down, but so the majority of it was in this brown right here, which I think is Picnic Basket. Yep. And then the rest of them are classic, nope, Color and Cottons that I pulled from my stash. So those will get put away. My snow day project, I decided was going to be my oldest whip. I think I talked about it last time. It is Ink Circles 99. If I have, I think I have a, I don't know if I have a picture of where it was last time, but if I do, I'll stick it right here so that you can see. And then show you where I'm at. So I now have 45 of the 99 bottles done. And I have 3 more of them almost completed, but I lost my 703. So I need to find my 703. So we're getting closer. And I think maybe having this as a snow day project might help me get it done this year. That was a lot of, I got a lot of bottles done. We had like a teeny bit of snowy precipitation today, but I am not counting it as a snow day. But I also now have just taken everything out of my Q-snaps, so I don't know, I may want to put some things back in. Alright, I'm going to show you, I don't know if I want to put stuff back in or if I want to start new stuff, like do the rotation. There's like one more day in the month. Let's talk about the next WhipGo calls, and then let's talk about my plans, and we'll go from there. Alright, so WhipGo and WhipGo is like a version of Bingo. It's not too late to start. Jessie Marie Does Stuff has a Facebook group and an Instagram, and she talks about it on her Flosstube channel, Jessie Marie Does Stuff. It might just be Jessie Does Stuff now. I'm not positive. I will also link that below. It's just a bingo board. She calls a number, you put in each square a project or an idea and a goal. It can be anything from actually listing a project with a number of stitches goal, a number of hours goal, a motif goal, or it can be a goal of starting something, a goal of kitting something up, a goal of fully finishing something, a goal of finishing something. I think that it would be really fun to run concurrently a WhipGo board with like actual projects on it, and then also one that like has you doing actions towards your stitching stash, like organizing your floss, cleaning your stitchy spot. Don't look at my stitchy spot. That kind of stuff. I think that would be really fun. That might be a next year thing for me. I don't know, but it's a thought. And maybe if I ever go back, I watch my videos after I edit them, because there's those moments where you're like, I totally said something that was correct, and then you watch it back, and instead of saying red and aqua, you said blue and aqua 17 times. Sometimes I put little notes when I make a boo-boo on the screen. Sometimes I just let it go. Sometimes just know that when I'm editing and you are giggling about me saying something silly, I am also hitting myself in the face with the palm of my hand. Just because, yeah, my brain doesn't brain all the time the right way. Anyways, WhipGo, Jessie Marie calls 2 numbers every month, and you do with them what you wish with your WhipGo board. So my WhipGo board has all of my projects on it because I went into 2024 with 24 projects. I also have 24 new starts, so that I'm working on accomplishing, but my 24 projects that are already on the go are in this board. So number 22 from January was Bygone Stitches, One Nation, 2 Stars and 2 States. done and dusted. The other one was number 9, which was my Long Dog the Token. My goal is to finish that. I have not obviously finished it yet, but I got started on it. I'm happy with that. My board, my rules, I don't have to actually accomplish the goal in the month that was called. I just have to accomplish it by the end of the year. This month's Whip Go blocks were 24 and 3. So mine are in order from oldest to newest. So number 3 is an oldie and number 24 is a newer project, which is kind of awesome. And that's also sort of how the last go worked. So I am very much enjoying that. So I'm going to show you where those are at and what they are and what their goals are. And then I'm going to show you my planned new starts for the month of February. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of haul. All right, so number 3, my oldie. Carriage House Samplings, The Shores of Hawkrun Hollow. And my goal is to finish block number 1, which is that lighthouse block right there. I am stitching this on 40 count doubloon from Picture This Plus. And this is where I am at. This is my starting point. So I have a chunk to go, but not terrible and definitely doable within the month. I'm not sure when that's going to go on the Q-Snap, if that's going to go on the Q-Snap first or if the next one is, but we shall see. And then my newer one that got called is the Witchy Stitcher Cryptid Sal. I don't have a picture of the pattern as a whole, but I do have where I am at. I could probably cut some fabric off the bottom of this one. So here's where I am. It's about at the halfway point. And I think, I mean, if I put this on a Q-Snap and just really go to town, I can get it done because these guys each probably take a day or two. They're not like a day or two of like solid, like of I got a couple hours to stitch, not like, oh, because like my last couple days of stitching, I've like maybe put in 1 strand each day. And while like it doesn't, I mean, I finished that motif on my Long Dog, so it didn't amount to nothing. It just doesn't amount to, you know, big finishes. But my goal is to finish this, and I would really love to finish this and get it framed and get it off of my whip list and up on the wall. It will go very well in my craft room that is also, I think, currently turning into our pantry, which is okay. A little combo of both. Okay, little haul things, not big haul things, because these were just like kind of gifts. So in my box from Missy, she also made me some cute little floss drops. So like very fun and festive. And then the ring has a beautiful little charms on it, and the I love you and ASL. I don't know if you can see it. And then she also gave me, I'm really excited to try these. They are not nickel plated, pony black needles. So this will be a new cross stitch item for me, but I am super excited to try them out. And then I got, as a hand-me-down, I'm so excited, and I mean, it's laughable at this point with how much I love giant projects. But I was gifted and they send. So this project is 809 stitches by 169 stitches. Oh, it is giant. It is so giant. And that whole bottom is like full coverage. But it is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. It is, yeah. It's wild. It's wild. It's gonna be an adventure. I'm really excited. But it is big. It is a large pattern. And they send. And they send. I'm gonna start and they send. Just as soon as I finish his island, not his island barrel. Consider the lilies. Consider the lilies has to be done before any other giant project gets started. That is just the rule. I think that's it for my list. And they send was my super. Oh no, what I'm gonna start. That's not it from my list. So, all right. Cross Stitch the Globe is doing. Okay, they just announced what the hashtag was gonna be. It's hashtag Fab4FansSal. And they're inviting people to stitch Beatles projects. Some of them are stitching Yellow Submarine. But there are either 4 or 5 patterns in the Magical Mystery Tour series from Blackbird. So I am stitching Blackbird from Blackbird. Oh, sorry, it's 6. There are 6. This is the 3rd of 6. And I think I need to count stitching it on this peachy, orangey yellow from, I think it's a grab bag fabric from Color and Cotton. But I need to double check the count of it because I've gotten kind of ouched in that situation before, and I don't want to do that again. And then the other one that I'm going to stitch is So Tweet from Luminous Fiber Arts. And I have it all kitted up. I am going to stitch it on 30 count light pink Baby's Breath from Weeks that I had in my stash. And then these are the fancy flosses for it. And then it has a red and maybe, I don't know what the other one is. That is, oh, probably like the steel for the needle is also DMC. So those are my 2 plans. And I think that's all I have for you today. I want to show you where my tracker's at, just for fun. So here's my tracker again. So I missed those 2 days in there. And I think I don't know if I'm going to color them or leave them blank, and I don't know what I'm going to do about the X's on the months that are shorter. The X's on the months that are shorter I might black out, and then the days that I miss I might leave as white so that they're a very distinct difference. So far we're on the 31st. I haven't stitched yet today, but I have stitched every day except for the 25th and the 26th because my eyeballs felt like they were going to shoot out of my eyes every time I opened them. So they were closed for a lot. And I listened to a lot of lovely Flosstube and then like squeaked my eyes open to see pictures of beautiful cross stitching. So I enjoyed all your narrations, and yeah. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go finish out my work day, and then I'm gonna hopefully plop myself on the couch for a little bit of stitching tonight, and I hope you get to do the same. Have a lovely week and a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.